Hello students, in the last lecture we have studied about the charging of the capacitor and we found that the charge increases in the capacitor. It was charged with the help of a battery, but the current decreases, and when the potential difference across R and the potential difference of the capacitor becomes equal, the capacitor is said to be fully charged. Ideally, we have seen that capacitor cannot be fully charged or it can take infinite time. So current in that situation decreases. Now after the capacitor is being charged, let us see the discharging of a capacitor. Now in the discharging of a capacitor, we take a capacitor which is fully charged. Now this capacitor is fully charged by the method we did in the last lecture. So this capacitor is fully charged. If you remember the charging process, what we did, we remove an electron from this plate of a capacitor and deposited on it. So electron was moving like this. We have connected the battery and current was flowing opposite to this. So you can refer this last lecture. And this plate becomes positively charged, this plate becomes negatively charged. In other words, we can say with the help of a battery, electron was transferred from one plate to another. As a result, the potential difference across this capacitor increases and the potential difference across the resistor decreases, which was maximum initially. And when they are equal, the current in ideal situation flowing through the circuit becomes zero. That state is called a steady state. Now the capacitor is fully charged. If it is fully charged, then the charge on this plate is say plus Q naught, and this plate the charge is minus Q naught. That is the maximum charge on the capacitor initially. So at T is equal to 0, charge on capacitor is Q naught and it is the maximum charge on the capacitor. This is the situation. Now if I connect, or if the capacitor is being discharged through a resistor R, we connect a resistor having resistance R. So as soon as a resistor is connected, what happens? The electrons will flow from negative plate to the positive plate. It is opposite of the charging. So in the charging, we deposited electron on this plate. Now this electron will get a conducting path, so it will start flowing in the opposite direction. So this is the direction of the electron, and therefore this will be the direction of the current flowing in the circuit. Now what will be the potential difference across the two plates of the capacitor initially? So initially the potential difference, this is at T is equal to 0. The potential difference across the capacitor having capacitance C is equal to Q naught by C. So this is the potential difference. Let the potential difference is denoted by delta V. So this is equal to the maximum potential difference. That is, you can say this point have a potential difference Q naught by C. This point is at a zero potential, or you can say this plate is Q naught by C. You can write this here also, and this plate is at zero potential. So the capacitor potential initially is maximum. So it is the maximum value of the potential difference. Let us denote it by V naught. Now what is the current in the circuit initially? So when we connect a resistor across this capacitor, the current start flowing and I is equal to Q naught by C minus 0 upon R. That is a Ohm's law. I is equal to V upon R. V means the potential difference divided by R. So I is equal to Q naught by CR. Again, this is the maximum current in the circuit, which can be denoted later on by I naught. So initial condition is the charge on the capacitor is maximum, the potential difference across the capacitor is maximum, and the current flowing in the circuit is maximum. Now, as the time passes, the negativity of this charge, of this plate start decreasing. So, because the electrons are being removed, this electron come opposite to the direction of the current, or you can say this plate's negativity becomes less and this plate positivity will also becomes less, because this electron is removed from it and it is again coming back to the same plate. So in the charging, we remove electron from this, so its positivity increases, its negativity increases. So charge increases charge increases on a capacitor. That was a charging, deposition of charging was taking place on the capacitor. Now it is a reverse process. Now its charge are decreasing. Now if the charges are decreasing, then the potential difference across this will also decrease. And if the potential difference across these 2 points decreases, the potential difference across the R will also decrease. It means the current in the circuit will again start decreasing. So whether the capacitor is charging or discharging, in both the cases, the current in the circuit decreases. So at time t, this is the initial condition. Now at time t is equal to t, let the charge on the capacitor is equal to Q. So now the situation is the charge on the capacitor is plus Q minus Q. This is your R. This is the current which will start decreasing again. Why? Because the charge is decreasing. So, or you can understand there is no source of energy, that is there is no battery. So whatever energy we have stored in capacitor, that we have studied, when the capacitor is fully charged, the energy stored is half CV square or half Q square by C, like that we have done. 3 formulas were there. Now its energy is decreasing. So where this energy is going, energy can neither be created nor destroyed. So it is dissipated in the form of heat across the R. Now when this capacitor will lose all its energy, all its charges, we say the capacitor is fully discharged. So that time will be an infinite time. So again, the capacitor will never be fully discharged. So it can never be fully charged, neither it is fully charged nor it is fully discharged. Now at time t is equal to t, the charge on the capacitor is Q. So it is decreasing. Potential difference across capacitor is now Q by C. That is, we can write V also. Now what about the current across these 2 points, or across this point, 2 point, it will be Q by C. Here it is 0. So I is equal to Q by C minus 0 upon R. That is equal to Q by CR. And CR, we write a tau or a time constant. So this is your equation number 1. That is I naught is equal to Q naught by CR. and now I is equal to Q by CR. This is the situation. Now we have to find out what is the charge on a capacitor at any instant. We have to introduce the time factor also. So this I is equal to, as we did in the charging of capacitor, dq by dt. But what is the change here? The current is decreasing. The current in the circuit is decreasing. The charge is decreasing. dq means, say dq means the change in charge. So change will be negative. The change will be negative. At any instant, suppose the maximum charge is 1 coulomb. After some time, the charge will be less than 1 coulomb. Say it is 0.6 coulomb. So what is the change? That is 0.6 minus 1, minus 0.4 coulomb. So you have a minus sign. This change comes out to be negative. But current is a positive scalar. We consider it as a scalar quantity. It should be positive. So instead of dq by dt, we substitute the minus sign. So here I should be written as minus dq by dt, which indicate that the change in the charge is negative, and to make the I positive we substitute minus sign. But in the charging of a capacitor, the charge was increasing. So initially the charge was 0. Say after some time the charge is 1 coulomb. So what will be the change? 1 coulomb minus 0. So that was a positive quantity. So we have taken their positive. Here you should take a negative sign. You have to consider this equation to keep I positive. However, if you don't want to consider this, in some books we take minus dq by dt. Some book we do not take this minus sign into consideration. So the graph will change. There will be a change of plus and minus sign only. So it does not make any difference, though I should be positive, because now change comes out to be negative. So to make I positive, we substitute a minus sign. So in the place of I can write minus dq by dt. So minus dq by dt is equal to q by cr, and therefore dq by q is equal to minus dt by cr, where cr is a time constant that we know. Integrating both the side with the proper limits. So now what is the proper limit? Initially the charge is q naught when the time is 0. So if we integrate it from initial to final limit, its limit becomes q naught to q. This is equal to minus dt upon cr, initial limit 0 at any instant t. So again, the integration ln q, limit q naught to q is equal to minus, I directly write this step, dt is t minus 0, so t upon rc. This can be written as ln q upon q naught is equal to minus t upon rc. Therefore, taking the anti-log on both sides, this becomes e raised to minus t upon rc. Therefore, q is equal to q naught e raised to minus t upon rc. This is the equation of the discharging of a capacitor or the charge on capacitor at any instant. This is the charge on capacitor at any instant. Clearly, it is an exponential function. The charge will decrease. So q is equal to q naught e raised to minus t upon rc. So if we want to check this at t is equal to 0, so e raised to 0, 1, q naught. Suppose t is infinite, so e raised to minus infinite. That is 1 upon e raised to infinite, that is 0. It means the capacitor will take infinite time idly. So it will not be fully discharged. And if the equation is of this form, the graph is exponentially decreasing. So what will be the graph of discharging of the charge, or how the charge will decrease? Again, it will never touch this. The charge can never become 0, or it take an infinite time. So this is Q versus T, 0. This is the maximum charge. As the timing is increasing, the charge is decreasing exponentially. Again, initially it decreases very fast, then it takes long time to discharge. So when you switch off your fan, the capacitor in it takes time for discharge, and therefore the fan does not stop immediately, because the whatever charge is stored in the capacitor at that instant, it is discharging through the various other components, or say different resistors. We have a winding of the coil inside it, and when you switch on the fan, it takes some time to gain the speed. It means the capacitor is taking time for charging. And if you remember, this was the shape of the charge was increasing like this exponentially. So the charge was increasing. This was the case that we have studied in the last lecture. So this is the case of a charge on capacitor at any instant. Here RC is equal to tau is equal to time constant. Now at t is equal to tau, q is equal to q naught e raised to minus 1, that is q naught upon e. This value comes out to be 0.37 q naught. So at tau time, the capacitor discharging becomes 37%. So in a time interval equal to time constant, the capacitor discharged by 37%, and in the same time interval it was charged by 63%. So at this time, suppose this is a time, so this is tau, then this value comes out to be 0.37 q naught. This is 0.37 q naught. This is the, so in time interval equal to time constant, the capacitor discharge 37% of its initial or the maximum charge, and in the same time interval, if it is charging, it charge up by 63%, opposite. So this is all about, we have the charge on a capacitor at any instant. Now let us see the current. As we have already seen here, Q naught was maximum, so the current in the circuit initially is maximum. Now by common sense also the current is decreasing. But what should be the current in the circuit at any instant? So again we use this equation. So now I is equal to minus dq by dt. So we do the derivative of this with respect to time. So I is equal to minus q naught, derivative of this exponential function as it is, then the derivative of this power, that is minus 1 by RC. So it becomes plus sign. Now what is q naught upon RC? We have already written here Q naught upon RC is the maximum current. So I is equal to I naught e raised to minus T upon RC. Again, the current decreases. Same formula which was there during the charging. And if you remember, during the charging we have connected a battery here. So at that time, the potential difference across the capacitor increases and the potential difference across the resistor decreases, and when they becomes equal, the capacitor was said to be fully charged. So current in both the cases decreases, whether it is a charging of a capacitor or discharging of a capacitor. Now see this, if you don't want to take this minus sign, there will be one minus sign here. So the graph will be drawn in the negative axis. But so some book don't have this minus sign, so they put this minus sign here. We have taken the negative sign, so this is a positive value. Now what should be the graph of this, since both equations are same? So the graph is also same. So the graph of I versus time is exponentially decreases, and again it will not touch zero or at infinite time. Ideally it should be an infinite time. This value is the maximum current I naught, and again at t is equal to tau, that is RC, I is equal to I naught e raised to minus 1, that is I naught upon E. Again this value comes out to be 0.37 I naught. So at tau time, the current in the circuit is 0.37 times the maximum current. So whether the capacitor is charged or discharged, the current in the circuit decreases. And we will see during the charging of a capacitor, when the current ideally becomes zero, then it is called a steady state. So we will do the MCQ related to the charging and the discharging of the capacitor, and all the questions you can download from the link of the video. Now we wind up our this charging and the discharging of a capacitor. So what we have studied is charging and discharging. So we summarize the thing. During the charging, the charge at any instant increases, and Q was equal to Q naught 1 minus e raised to t upon tau, or we write RC. And during discharging, the Q is decreasing. So Q is equal to Q naught e raised to minus t upon RC. The graph we can draw simultaneously. We can draw the graph for this. So let us draw the graph at any instant. This is Q versus T. So during charging, again the graph will not touch the maximum, means the capacitor is not fully charged, and this we have studied, it is exponentially decreasing. Again it does not charge. So this is the charging of a capacitor, and this is discharging of a capacitor, that is charge is increasing or a charge is decreasing in the circuit. Now let us see at time tau. If we consider any time tau, that is, suppose I consider this time as tau. So during the charging, this value comes out to be 0.63 Q naught, and this value during the discharging comes out to be 0.37 Q naught. In the terms of percentage, it is 100%. So in time interval tau, that is time constant, the capacitor charge becomes 63% of its initial value, and during the discharging it becomes 37% of its maximum value during the discharging. So this is the comparison of charging and the discharging. The charge is increasing and the charge is decreasing. Then about the current. Current in both the cases decreases, whether it is charging or discharging. In both the cases, the current is decreasing, and the formula I is equal to I naught e raised to minus t upon RC. Here also we have I is equal to I naught e raised to minus t upon RC. So whether the capacitor is charged or it is discharging, the formula remains same and the graph also remains same. Say if I write this equation, I is equal to minus I naught e raised to minus t upon RC, means if I don't consider this minus sign, then there would be a minus sign in this expression. In that situation, I can draw the graph like this. This is I versus t. This is charging. So current is decreasing. And here, this is discharging. So if I consider this minus sign, I will draw the graph along the negative y-axis or in this plane. Otherwise, if it is plus sign, the nature of the graph is same. This is your I naught. In this case, you can say it is minus I naught. So sometime or in some book, you can see the graph like this also. Otherwise, if you consider both signs same, then the graph remains same. So this is all about, we have a charging and discharging of a capacitor, and we can find out the potential difference in a capacitor, or sorry, across the capacitor at any instant by the formula V is equal to Q by C. So we have studied Q during charging, you substitute that value. During discharging, you substitute this value. So you can easily find out the V also. So this is an important topic related to JEE and NEET. In the next lecture, we will do the numericals where the key will be connected with the capacitor and the resistor, that is RC circuit. And in some question, the key will be closed for a moment or key will be closed for a long time. So we will see what is the difference between the steady circuit, the steady state circuit of a CR circuit, that is resistance and capacitor, how this formula will change if there are more than one resistor in the circuit. So while doing this theory, we have considered only one resistor. It may be possible that the circuit consists of more than one resistor or a capacitor. The key connected in it is closed for a moment or it is closed for a long time. Then what is a steady circuit? All such MCQs are there in our level 2 capacitor, and from the link you download the PDF file and try to do it. We will discuss that in the next lecture. Have a nice day.